December today. I made chicken because I don't like we're drinking. And go, here's a pen. Don't say you can't sign.
If anyone is talking, they're going to have to use the mic.
I'm thinking ahead. I didn't know he went. Yes, but he looked good and he, I don't know what that is, but I found it on the bench. You guys will be here for 2 years.
Well, we'll go ahead. Ty, how do I, is it on?
Turn it on, it's not on.
Oh, just got the thumbs up. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. I appreciate your attendance here at our annual meeting. As Emma mentioned when she was making the announcement, we are a congregational church. That is our governance structure. And that provides a unique opportunity for self-governance, for folks to come together once a year in this setting to make really important decisions about the life of the church. So thank you for being here. I'm Karen. I currently serve as president of the consistory, that is our church's governing board, and I will be guiding us through today's agenda. I'm going to ask Mary to come up to open with a quick word of prayer.
Let us pray. Gracious and loving God, we give you thanks for the gift that it is to be Faith Church here in State College. We give you thanks for the bonds that we have formed and all the good that we get to nurture together. We invite your Holy Spirit into this space as we discuss the business of the church. Guide us and direct us so that we can be part of your peacemaking here in State College and around the world. We ask all of this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Mary. Did everybody get a copy of the annual report, and either a digital one or grabbed one? If not, I think there's a few more copies. You don't have to have one. We just want to make sure everybody has the information if they want to see it. There's budget information. There's reports in there. So I'll get us started. We have, you'll see in the, let's see, it's page 3 of the report, our membership and in memoriam tallies for the year. We had one new member. We had a new baptism. I think some of you were there with baby Elton. We also went to honor the passings of Phyllis Herzog and Edna Weishaus this year. So the next item on the agenda, it's the approval of the 2024 annual meeting minutes. This is one of those, I think, a lovely little bureaucratic procedures that we do at the annual meeting. Rather than put those in the report, I just pulled up the narrative summary. So I'm just going to read that. Yes.
I've got 3 more copies. If anyone needs one. How are we doing? Anyone else?
If anyone wants to just raise a hand, Emma will get that to you. I'll go ahead and I'm just going to read a quick narrative summary of last year's meeting, and that's so we can vote to approve. So we held last year was the 115th annual meeting of Faith Church. It was on December 15th. Sue Bowers presented the proposed budget for 25. It was approved after a thoughtful and faithful discussion of line items and revenue streams. because this year was a 310 lease renewal year, there was some discussion at the 2024 annual meeting last year kind of about what the stewardship should look like of that property and its value as a revenue stream for the church. Pastor Jess was here last year. She shared a pastor's report. I summarized the report from consistory. We had ministry team leaders share updates on their work, which were in last year's written report and appear again this year in the annual report. Specifically last year, we heard some quick updates from the Women's Guild, Penguin Packs, caring teams, Knitting for Peace Out of the Cold, the music ministry, and the trustees. Last year, Brent Frank also provided a report from the Pastoral Relations Committee. Last year, we voted to elect Cam Mallett as a new member of consistory. He faithfully served this year. And we also, last year, expressed gratitude to Sandy Irwin, who concluded her board term. We approved the slate of ministry teams from last year. They are the same ones as this year. There was no unfinished business from 2024 that was raised, and we closed the meeting with a prayer of gratitude. That is my summary of the 2024 meeting minutes. If I could have someone motion to approve those minutes. Thank you, Jared. Thank you. Thank you, Wayne, a second. All in favor of approving the meeting minutes from the 2024 annual meeting, raise your hand or say aye. Thank you. The meeting minutes from last year's annual meeting are approved. So the next item on our agenda are the financial reports. So Sue, if there's anything you would like to share, this is the only mic that's working, so if you want to come up here.
Okay. The reports for the actual financials through October 31st of this year are in the annual report. Hopefully you had a chance, probably not. If you want to look at them quickly and see if there's anything that you have questions about, I'll gladly try and answer them. There is also the budget, proposed budget for 2026, which needs to be approved at this meeting. So if there's any questions on that, please feel free to ask now. If you have any questions later on it. My name is Sue Bowers, in case some of you don't know me, but I can be reached by email, or M can reach me through the office. I will say this year we changed our approach slightly to the budget, thanks to Carlton's suggestion, which was a very good one. We decided to go with a zero-based budget, which basically means we came up with the expenses, and then we came up with a target revenue figure that we needed in order to meet the expenses. So the revenue figure, we're hoping we will be able to meet, which will bring us to a zero net number when you take the revenues and subtract the expenses or costs. We should hopefully come out to zero. That includes moving a higher number than we have in the past from the endowment funds. We have approximately $300,000 in endowment funds. Endowment funds are monies that have been donated by individuals, mainly through bequests to the church. And the way endowment funds work, they are typically you don't use the principal amount that was given, you only use the earnings. So this year, we have, in the past few years, we haven't taken everything that we technically, from historical basis, have been permitted to, based on the consistory's designation in the past was that we could use 4%, up to 4% of the income from the endowment funds. The last few years, we haven't had to do that, so we have not. This year, because we went to zero-based budget, we decided to put in the 4% of approximately $300,000. So that's the transfer from the endowment funds is a little higher than it has been in the past, if anybody sees that. The other line item that's a little higher than it was in the past is the pastor's benefits and salary. Those are designated by the Keystone Conference, our new conference, and health insurance, of course, has gone up significantly everywhere. So that was kind of a big hit, and the Keystone Conference changed their way of, I wouldn't say mandating, but designating how they prefer pastors' salaries be based. So that increased Pastor Jess's salary a little bit above maybe what has been in the past, legitimately so. They're trying to bring the pastors' salaries into a more uniform way of determining it across the state and across the conference. So if anybody has any questions on anything, now that you've had a chance? No? The other thing I will say is thanks again to Britt and to the whole 310 committee for negotiating a kind of difficult lease renewal, but the lease renewal was in our favor. We definitely got an increase in our rent, which has been very, very helpful to us. So we're hoping that things go well with the tenant. It's a continuation with our old tenant, but we're hoping that things continue to go well. They have been good so far, so we're hoping that continues. So eat at Yala Foods. So he wants to stay next door. Anything else? Okay.
We had a motion for the budget to be accepted.
Thank you. I'm just going to give everyone maybe 20 more seconds to just scan the budget. Think if you have any other questions about it before I ask for a second on Wayne's motion. Thank you, Sue, very much for your summary and for the work that you do. There's so much work behind the scenes that goes into taking care of the church's finances. And Sue and Carlton do such an incredible, thoughtful, organized, faithful job. So thank you so much. Yeah. And I want to echo the Sue's gratitude to the members of the 310 committee. It's such a critical funding stream for the church, and they showed so much care this past spring working with Hytham to propose a lease that honored what we needed as a church while still being a very respectful tenant. So thank you to them. Wayne motioned to approve the budget for 2026. Is there a second? Emma, Dave, thank you. All in favor of approving the budget for 2026, raise your hand or say aye. Wonderful. Thank you. The budget is approved. Next on the agenda is the report of the pastor. Mary, is there anything that you would like to highlight? It is written, let's see, looks like starts on page 4. Is there anything that you would like to highlight?
I would just like to echo it takes a lot of people to make Faith Church what it is, and I am so, so grateful to you all, because I've certainly been leaning on you pretty heavily during this parental leave time. So thank you so much. I am so grateful for you all.
Any questions for Mary? And I know you're serving in this parental leave, but anything from the pastor's report? Anybody has any questions about?
Thank you. I was just going to say that I would like to add, as a congregation member, thank you for stepping in and performing so graciously and completely, and I bet you're looking forward to some time off.
Thank you. On page 6 of the annual report is the report of the consistory. I wrote that on behalf of the board. Just a few things to highlight from the board's work this year. Our biggest effort was in preparing for Pastor Jess's sabbatical. Thank you to everyone who was involved in thinking through the details of that so that we could really honor their time together as a new family. Other big things the consistory was involved in this year was supporting the 310 committee, supporting fundraising for Pride, working with the Centennial Organ Committee, working with Tony and Alicia to support this beautiful and generous gift of our grand piano. We organized a spring picnic at our first annual church kickball game this summer, which was a hit. And currently working with our ward. If you remember, they were here for their ecclesiastical council. They'll be back again for their ordination service. Special shout out to Emma, who's done a lot coordinating the hospitality involved there. And I think mostly the consistory just wants to say thank you again to everybody, particularly those who lead the ministry teams that do such vital work for the church. Any questions for the board as far as the work we've done this year? Okay. So next we have a few reports from committees. I don't think Steph could make it on behalf of Pastoral Relations Committee. There is a report in here to read. I don't know if there's anything Brent or Lynn want to highlight from the work that you did this past year. Oh. Yeah. So I heard Brent said, I think everything is in the report there. So, but if anybody has questions.
What she said.
All right, beautiful.
If anybody has any questions for the Pastoral Relations Committee, you may ask them now. I am slated to talk about the nominating committee. I'm going to do that at the bottom. So next is reports from the ministry team. Those are also printed in the annual report. We have them from Knitting for Peace, the music ministry, the trustees ministry team, the 310 committee, and the Women's Guild. So I invite you to review those sections of the report, ask any questions you may have. And then if there are any leaders of those ministry teams who just want to highlight anything from your year, please feel free to come up to the mic. Knitting for Peace, Music Ministry, Trustees, 310, and Women's Guild.
Also, I don't know if you guys know, but like Mark went out of his way to like drive around Pennsylvania to find this piano for us. Thank you guys for the donations, but like I also just want to acknowledge that Mark, that's outside of Mark's job description, and he's just really awesome and cares a lot about the music here. That's all.
I have a quick comment about the 310 committee, or more just about the space, that we leased the building back to the Yala Taco people, as we've said, and we intentionally did not renew the parking trailer part of it, the food trailer part. So we have, in a sense, vacated that space. We gave him a good deal to included, not really included actually, in addition to the rent he's paying a smaller amount for 3 parking spots of that lot, the ones by the dumpster. The other ones are all ours now, right now. So Faith UCC, they say that, so we can park there for church things if you have a parking pass. If not, if you don't have a parking pass, talk to M and you can get one. But also, that being said, long-term, 310 committee has been discussing leasing those parking spaces too to people in the area. So we are in talks. I have somebody with the Downtown Improvement District who previously said they had a lot of people that wanted to lease them. Those lot of people, quote unquote, haven't gotten back to me about wanting to lease them. So I'm putting this out there to anyone else. A lot of people working, living downtown, whatever. If anybody knows of specifically, hopefully, a commercial so that we can have it empty on Sundays, but something that anyone that needs downtown parking, we now do have 3 leased spots that we're likely to lease in the near future. So if anyone wants a Christmas present, add that to your list.
Just a couple things. The one thing, Brett is pulled in many, many different directions here, including at the last minute, the law school asked her to teach a course without the syllabus or anything in the like. So Brett has been pulled many different directions, and we thank her for the competency that she and due diligence and lots of things in working with our occupant Hytham over here. The other thing is in our security here, we're looking at a time when we can go through some role acting and until that time comes, just look at it as a fire exit. If a fire would start at the front of the church, go to the exits. Same thing, if the fire would be over here, go to the exits. So until we come up with a better plan, I think that's the way. And it's the leaders that are here, the people that are here almost every Sunday, are the ones that we're looking to be the guides, because we get a lot of visitors here, and they might panic and not know where to go. So until the time we come up with a better plan, that's how we should approach it.
Thank you, Larry. I see Charlie, and also want to thank the Guardian Angels, who do another wonderful example of behind-the-scenes ministry that keeps this building and the worshipers here safe, so that when we're here, we can just focus on the Spirit. So thank you so much for all you do there, and everyone else involved in trustees and Guardian Angels and all that behind-the-scenes work. Any other questions or comments for ministry teams? The next item on the agenda is the election of consistory members. So consistory members serve terms. Those terms sometimes come to an end. We have 3 folks who have been serving on consistory who will be exiting the board at the conclusion of 2025. April and Brent, and also Janet Palmatier. So thank you, you 3, for your faithful service. You will be missed. And we are excited to welcome Tony Lentz as a new member of the consistory, beginning a term in 2026. So we are grateful that he accepted our request to join the board. Is there any old business that anybody would like to bring? Old business being, something we've talked about before, something where maybe there are still some loose ends hanging that we would like to wrap up before the end of the year. Yeah, Tony.
I just wanted to let people know that I have the strong feeling that we should have some permanent reference to the family that donated all of the work on the organ, so that we have a plaque of some kind somewhere that doesn't have to be standing out in the front of the organ or anything like that in my mind, but there should be a reminder of the generosity that was behind that. And I think that should be on the agenda for the next year.
That's a lovely idea. Thank you. Cam Mallett, who is the recording secretary, is on a plane right now flying to a job interview. So he is, Britt, could you just make a note of that? Because I think that's a really beautiful idea and I don't want us to forget it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Any other old business? I'll also invite anybody to bring any new business to the floor. Any other closing comments? Are you coming for a comment, Jared? Yeah. Love it.
Before it's officially closed, I would like, on behalf of Faith Church, to thank Karen for leading Consistory. Consistory is one of the most unique opportunities to be a part of, I think, inside and outside of any faith operation. And it always presents unique and interesting opportunities to learn and grow. And navigate what happens within a church, unexpected or planned. And we have been in great hands with your leadership. So thank you. As a former person, thank you.
Thank you. It is an honor and joy to serve the church. It really is. Is there a motion to adjourn the 2025 annual meeting? See Emma, is there a second? There's all in favor, say aye or raise your hand. The annual meeting for 2025 is adjourned. Thank you again so much for your attendance.